Hey church, this is Amos. I know that some of you will have a hard time believing this, but in high school I was a bit of a loser. I didn't have any of the all-important 3 C's. I wasn't confident, I did not have cool factor, and most importantly, I was not coordinated. In other words, I wasn't athletic and I wasn't on any sports teams. And as a result of that, I didn't have any real friends. I had people that I hung out with, but they were more like acquaintances, people I would spend time together and watch movies together and play Nintendo together. But that changed when I got to college. I made some friends who were following Jesus and who really wanted to know me at a deep level. And I got to know them at a deep level. And I think that's really fundamental to who we are as humanity. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about groups, because in our groups we get to know each other at a deep level. So we've got a good foundation here. We've been calling our handful of groups home groups, but I'd like to start calling those groups life groups. And that's because, well, for one, not all home groups actually meet in a home, but for two, all home really tells us about is where the groups meet. Life groups communicate that it's where we do life together. It's sort of like Jesus and his 12 disciples. He had these 12 guys and a handful of women that he didn't just do Bible study with, he walked through life with them. They had ups and downs and failures and things to celebrate. And so they would sit around the campfire and they'd apply this truth of Scripture to each other's lives. So I acknowledge that not all groups fit that exactly. So we've got a couple of different kinds of groups here. We've got social groups where people just hang out, like the art group. They like doing art together, so they do art. There's Connect Fit group where they get together and sweat, but not too much. But then on the other side of this is the growth groups. These are more curriculum focused. Think of them like a class. Only instead of just being consuming information, it's done in the community context. It's done with other people. So you're walking with other people. And I think that's where the real potential for transformation happens. So I believe in groups. I want to see more people in groups, and I want to see more groups. And we're going to try to actually arrange the church calendar a little bit to create an environment to make it easier for people to walk in to a group or to start a new group. And I hope that even if someone, say, enters a growth group and is looking at a particular curriculum, like say a marriage group, that they decide they like each other and continue on long-term as a life group. And you might have noticed on this little screen, I feel like a weatherman a little bit, I've got circles here. And that's really just to acknowledge that there are these smaller groups of people of 10 to 15. But then Jesus showed us too that it's important to have just a couple of people, maybe 2 or 3 others that you go really, really deep with, that you wouldn't necessarily tell everything to your group of 15, but to your group of 2 or 3, like they really know you well. Like Jesus with Peter, James, and John, he spent a special amount of time investing in those guys. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it was clear. I know it's going to take some time to wrap our minds around change, but I'm glad that I'm in it with you guys, and I appreciate our friendships, and we'll see you Sunday.